Life can be beautiful if you let it.
In the bowl.
Yo, what do you know? Welcome to In the Bowl Podcast. Shout out to Hustle Five Ways for hosting. I'm your host, Naz.
You got Tallman.
In the Bowl Podcast is sponsored by your nation's own Hookah distributor, wholesaler, elevators, innovators, Zisha to you. They do it all. So definitely shout out. What up?
What's going on, man? Another week.
Well, ain't not much, man. Another week. You know, another opportunity.
Exactly. Still going strong in Black History Month. All is well, man.
Yeah, nah, man. It's been a good start of a month. You know, it's just been some good times, man. Just like I said last time we was talking, you know, this weekend was just to fall back and, you know, just continue just to relax and enjoy some family time. And woke up, you know, had a Sunday family day. You know, started off with this show. I found the show, man. This show was crazy. This show was just it's an amazing show. Like it just made me feel good, right?
Talk about it.
Yeah, man. Me and the little one. We woke up, put on some Sunday morning cartoons, and come to find out the roots, man. That's why I say Black History Month is about the history and, you know, legacies and stuff, but it's also about, you know, just us as people, right? Us as a culture, us as, you know, just everything that, you know, we influence, right? And, you know, narratives that we push, right? And this show, it was a cartoon, man. It was a cartoon. It's called Rise Up, Sing Out.
Okay.
Now, that was one of the most woke cartoons, shows, anything you want to call it, any category you want to call it, one of the most woke, you know, inspirational, just exciting, you know, shows. You know, it was dope.
Yeah.
It was dope. It was like a sing-along. It was like little mini videos. But they was talking about just the culture. They were talking about, you know, how like one little snippet was they had a kid come out and was like, hey, I didn't know that was your mom. She's a lot lighter than you are. So you're a lot darker, right? And I'm like, what? And then this girl comes out of the school and just like, hey, and starts just flowing. It's just dope, dude. Like the shit is dope. You know, R and I, we just, me and the little one was just partying.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man. So that was a good kickoff, you know, and get ready for the week. So that was a good morale booster, you know.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, you know, with all this talk in the news and about, you know, banning critical race theory in school and, you know, talking about the history in the past. You know, it's good to see something like that where, you know, kind of speaks on, you know, the history and the differences of people and, you know, just set the record straight, you know, instead of trying to just sweep things under the rug or cover things up. You know, confront the past for what it is and, you know, let's build and move on.
Nah, man, you're right. Like you said, you know, you got to have that, build and move on. And the only way you can build is off a foundation, right? So you got to set that, you know.
Exactly.
And so without that foundation, and you know, you got to keep that narrative. So when you talk about banning, you're like, what? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing exactly the opposite of what, you know, the direction we need to be going into. And that's why I liked it so much. You know, it was just they put it out there. You know what I'm saying? They had an episode, you know, about bonnets. You know what I'm saying? Different dishes. Like shit was dope, man. This shit was super dope. Definitely recommend that. That was one of my top watches. You know, that thing was, again, like I said, it just jump kicked the start the weekend or the week, right? You know?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, man. So what'd you get into? What's up?
Oh man, all is well, man. Before we kick off, man, we gotta do our customary cheers, man.
Have to.
Hey,
Cheers, dude.
cheers to you.
No.
All's good on this side out the sandbox, man. Sunday, relaxed day, clean up this laundry, hit the gym, got a nice 90-minute workout in, so feeling good, feeling great, but I had time to sit here and think. And I was like, I keep talking about my rental car, right? I'm driving this little small car where I can literally reach behind me and touch the back windshield, man. And for a guy that's 6'4", that's not something you want to be able to do in a vehicle. But I look at it and I was like, man, every time I get in this car to start it up, it's almost like I'm still in this car. And I say that because, the key has a little button, so I'm used to the push button. So I gotta hit the button, key pops out. And I gotta turn my head so I can see exactly where I'm putting the key at because the ignition is just in a wild place. So it feels like, I'm in the car with a screwdriver, get ready to pop the ignition and drive off. And I looked at myself driving to work the other day, and I was like, man, if anybody is looking out their window and looking at me getting this car, they probably think this dude is still in this car, man. 'Cause I felt like I was straight out of New Jersey Drive or something.
Jersey Drive, that's my shit, man. You look a real suspect.
Yeah. And without having a TV right now, I've been watching a whole bunch of, old movies and old shows. And about 3 weeks ago, I did watch New Jersey Drive. So, it started connecting those dots, man.
I feel you. You got a connection there.
Yeah, man. That was a wild movie. But I went to check out the Dubai Mall because I hadn't been to that mall in about 5 years. This is the mall that has like the aquarium in it, and it's just a huge mall. I mean, when you walk in on like Fashion City, it's like walking into Titan Suit. That's where you got all your high end stores. Just everything you can imagine. With security guards at the doors before you go in. So it's a real high end spot. But the embarrassing thing is, man, I got lost trying to get out the mall, man. I walked around for about 45 minutes trying to find the exit that I came out of because I had to go back to the front, to be able to, get over and get back on my side of town. But it was just, my watch is like, hey, are you working out? Do you want to track this? I'm like, there is no reason where my watch should be detecting me working out, trying to escape from the mall, man.
Trying to get out the mall.
Yes, man. Yes, but it was a good time. I went to check out a spot in there called Hookah on the top floor, and the spot was cool, man. They got some really high end hookahs in there. It was it was impressive. Definitely pricey. So you go there for the ambiance and the experience. The hookah ran me about $90 US. So I was expecting something to be just out of this world, but the hookah was cool. It's definitely a good spot when folks come in town and want to get some hookah and want to do something different. It's definitely a spot to check out because it's like right by the water. So in Dubai, like at the Bellagio, they have a light water show that kicks off at 6 o'clock every day. So you're sitting like, if you look right over the balcony, it's like the water show is right there. You just look down on the ground and see like thousands of people, waiting to see, this whole event. So that's why I said, I mean, you're paying for the ambiance and the experience, and that was cool. But they had some wild hookahs in it, man. I gotta send some pictures, man. It was thoroughly impressive.
That's dope. That's what makes it dope. You know what I'm saying? You go to different places, you try different, different lounges, different little spots. Check out different vibes. That's what's up. You should do. That's what the hookah does. Hookah smoker does. Find out that vibe.
You got to, and I saw the price of the hookah, and they had an upgrade available to where when you get your refill, they have a young lady that wheels the cart out, with the shisha there, and she chops it up and presents it, and makes the bowl in front of you and things of that nature. And I opted not to go for that experience since it was just me then, so I wasn't there with anybody, so I was just hanging out. I'm like, I really don't need all this fanfare for one person. I say that, when I'm in the company of others, be able to do that whole presentation, but it's definitely a good experience though.
That may have been the wow factor.
Exactly. The folks behind me got it, so I wasn't trying to be eye hustling too hard, so I'm just casually like looked over my shoulder, checking out the whole presentation, with that. But it was cool though, man. And last week, man, we got a lot of interesting dialogue. We were asking about, which state or which section, because I gotta say section or area in the DMV, because DC still doesn't have statehood. So DC is the nation's capital and a city, not a state. So I don't want to say which state has the wildest drivers, but which area in the DMV had the wildest drivers. Right now, it looks like VA is winning hands down. It looks like it's almost unanimous. The VA has the wildest driver. And this is coming from folks who even live in VA. They were like, hey, yeah, VA is wild.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it really is unbiased. If you got the VA folks saying, yeah, VA, we're a little different down here. I mean, that tells you something right there, man.
The people have spoken. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The people have spoken. VA is the wildest. Well, I know some cool folks out in VA, but again, it's some wild drivers out there.
Yeah, man. Well, you already know my big issue with VA is property tax on vehicles, man. I just can't I can't get with that. It's like even when your vehicle is paid off, you got no note. Each year you're still paying this reoccurring property tax, and that's just not something I can get down with, man. Not being the car guy that I am. I'm not going to be down there with multiple cars paying a property tax every year, man. That's not going to fly.
Nah, play it. No.
Not at all, man.
No.
All right, so it looks like, man, we got a lot to talk about this week. It's been a lot, going on, man. It's the week and the weekend has not let us down, not one bit.
Nah, not at all, man. It goes back to like we were just talking about, man. People out here being petty. People out here providing some wild entertainment because they wanna put everything out in the forefront. Some petty motherfuckers out here, some people's out here wild.
Yeah, man. I told you, man. I don't get this having to go on social media or run to your PR, your publicist, to put your relationship on blast and let the whole world know, what's going on in your situation. I mean, back in the day, man, if something happened in your house, it stayed in your house. It wasn't
That's the rule.
Wasn't for the masses. Even, when I would leave my mother's house, going to my father's house, and vice versa. It's like, hey, what happens in this house stays in this house. You don't go to your father's house talking about our business. Father's like, hey, when you go home, you don't go home to your mother's house talking about my business. It was totally, walled off. And as a kid, I mean, that's a lot to progress. I mean, a lot to process. Because you want to have that open dialogue and, talk about what's going on. But you were taught very early on, nah, this is, this is separate and apart, man. So this whole thing with your man Kanye and Kim, man, it's just going to, whole separate levels. First we hear the people are getting divorced. We're like, all right, cool. Then we hear the man, hey, back with my wife, my wife, then he then separated, and they both the people. Now they talk about someone else after kids and come birthday party, and drug test, messier, by the minute, right? The whole thing we talk about break up, walk away, or do you want to be petty wop? And it just sounds like there's a lot of petty wop on both sides here, man. It's just it's like, what's next? You know.
Some things you gotta leave alone. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about, I guess you get to a certain age where you ain't really got time for it, right? But then it gets real nasty when you start bringing, outsiders having to be impacted by y'all shit. You know what I'm saying? And other
Yeah.
people gotta be impacted by y'all shit because y'all can't control it and can't control your emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like that's some dangerous shit right there. Because then what happens is they, like I was always told, don't make a permanent decision off of a temporary emotion. People can get vicious with being emotional,
Yeah.
and emotion. When you start adding emotions into it, it gets nasty. And that's why they start saying, you got passion killings out here. You know what I'm saying? People out here and just being emotional about it, just being that they consume you, to where you can't be sound or make a decision off a sound body and mind. Just be like, all right, step to my corner. But when you start impacting, like, you know what I'm saying, your kids, and start bringing them in the mix, man, that gets nasty. You don't know what long-term impact it's going to have.
Now you
You
know.
know? And they say, like, just people can feel it, you know what I'm saying, when the air is toxic or it's just so much tension. You can cut it with a spoon. You know what I'm saying? They
Exactly
can feel
that
it.
energy,
It
man.
weighs on folks. Yeah, energy. It weighs on folks, man.
Nah, man. I agree, man. I wish we did not know so much information about about this man's business, but I mean they're putting it out there for for the world, and I'll admit I only read the highlights and saw the sound bites, because I refuse to just start clicking into so much madness. I'm like, that's your issue, your situation. We've heard the gist of it,
Yeah.
but I don't need to get down into the fine details of it, because again, I mean, that's somebody else's business, and I don't
Yeah.
feel my need to go in and validate, what he said, what she said, what they said. No.
It's too much. Yeah, it's too much. You know what I'm saying? And even like, it's not even just about them. It's just, just adults, you know what I'm saying? Being mature, you know what I'm saying? Just overall. So it ain't like trying to pick no side, we ain't trying to pry again. Like why like no one wants to know all of that. Just you know what
Nah.
I'm saying? Keep that shit in house. Too much other shit going
Exactly.
on for someone to be thinking about that, you know what I'm saying? Privilege, I know like people say,
Nah.
well, don't, but it's like why,
This is true, man. This is true.
It's a big week, man. It's a big week, man. It's we're going to Super Bowl week. As always,
Yeah.
I missed the Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl is weak. Like the Pro Bowl is just I don't know, dog. It's dog. I don't know who I was. I was over just texting somebody and was like, "Hey, what time the Pro Bowl come on?" It was like 7 o'clock. This that thing went off. I was like, "Oh shit! All right, well, all right,
Oh wow. Yeah.
yeah." Like no one. Nah, that's like one of those. That's like a makeup Sunday you can make up, right? From the rest of the games you watch all season. That's the weekend when you're like, all right, what you want to do on Sunday? What we doing? You know?
Exactly, because now you got that window wide open from 1 o'clock until 11:30. You got 10 solid hours to catch up on life, because during the regular season you got the red zone from 1 to about 7:30. Well, really, if you die hard in fantasy, you're watching the pregame shows. You're like
Yeah,
10:30 and 11.
yeah,
As you try to see who's starting, who's not starting, what's going on, looking at matchups. If you on one of the apps and you put money on the game, you try and see different things that's going on. So it really is like 12 hours of your day right here on a Sunday.
yeah.
It's just consumed by football. So it's a good catch up there. And you're right, man. But like I told you, I wasn't even interested in checking the game out. I didn't even realize the game had moved to Vegas.
Facts, right? I'm thinking was like, so You know what I'm saying? Like, all right.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's still out in Hawaii, and I didn't realize that it was in Vegas until the unfortunate incident with Alvin Kamara. When he got arrested, because like, oh, he got arrested in Vegas. I'm like, all right, man, wow, what is this dude doing out in Vegas? But I was like, all right, well, the season's over. Saints on in the playoffs, or they're not going to the Super Bowl. So okay, maybe the man's out blowing off some steam. They're like, no, he got to fight after the Pro Bowl. And I was like, whoa, wait. So the Pro Bowl is in Vegas now? I was like, that's a little
Yeah.
that's a bit much.
Yeah. That's good on that one.
Yeah, man, because Vegas is its own animal.
Yeah.
It's a wild place, and the old saying used to be, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But with social media and everybody's phone having a camera on it, I think that slogan is dead. We need to just go ahead and put that one 6 feet in the ground, because what happens in Vegas no longer stays in Vegas. What happens in Vegas is put out for the world to see. So, what I got from his situation, and again, I'm not a news correspondent, so if I miss some details, please don't don't fire me up. It's a lot going on, but apparently, he was leaving the club like 6 in the morning, which that's one issue right there, which we'll come back to.
Yeah.
And apparently, him and his crew, they were getting on an elevator, and dude tried to hop on with them, and the man Alvin threw out a stiff arm. Now, if Alvin wasn't a running back in the NFL, you hear somebody throwing out a stiff arm, you may just think like, hey, no, you're not getting on. And getting on the elevator, during times of COVID, I think we've all had those moments where someone else is trying to hop on. It's like, hey, or someone that doesn't have a mask on, you all have your mask on, like, hey, we're good. You're going to catch the next one? Or, you hop off, you let them take that one. But when I hear of NFL running back to his caliber throwing out a stiff arm, I just envision the worst, man. I envision, that arm coming out and it planting, and somebody flying back, man.
Yeah.
So apparently,
I mean, it's inevitable. You ain't about to just stiff arm, you know what I'm saying? You just mush the man, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you ain't just about to mush me. So I hear you.
Exactly. So the stiff arm turns into a fight. I'm hearing, the gentleman, got stomped by, several individuals, and charges have been pressed. People have been arrested. You got a high profile, multi-million dollar athlete, so whenever you hear about, someone, getting in an altercation, the next thing that follows is, is this person going to be sued? Because we live in a culture where, you poke me in the chest, I'm suing you.
Yeah, we live in it's a very soft culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
very, 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 like, in tune with their feelings.
yeah, and there's a word for it, litigious, something. I forgot what it's called. People who just like to sue. It's a little too early in the morning for me. You see the sun about to come up over my shoulder, so my vocabulary hasn't quite warmed up yet. But I mean that's bound to happen as well. But then you start looking at the man's future and how this is going to impact him. Going forward next season. So I mean it's like it's all that necessary, man. And
yeah, that's
it's
wild.
a bit much.
Yeah, man, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one of those things where, like if again, we talk about social media, right? We talk about, how everything's in this limelight. If you have that caliber, the man is nice, so anything you do is going to be, it's going to be televised. So it's like, I don't know, if you're searching for that attention, or maybe you're just trying to, be a human, just want to live your life. But unfortunately, when you get to certain levels in life, that option's not really there. And it's sad that it's not, that we just can't be human and just live us. But you know what I'm saying? Like you get to that caliber, and it's impossible. But I don't think the man had to jump him. You know, he just kicked a fair one. That's what he could have done. If he felt that strong, you know, he could have kicked a fair one and it kept it moving. Like I don't know why you had to start stomping the man. You know.
Yeah,
or you could have just walked
I mean,
away. You could have been a bigger person. You know. You had
and
options.
it makes you think about, the folks around you, because if you're part of his entourage, right, and you're moving with him, it's like your mentality has to be different, because you have to be able to diffuse situations because you know what's at stake. You know what the risks are.
Yeah.
So it's at that point, where someone in his entourage should step in like, hey, look, let like you said, let's let this ride. Let's go ahead and walk away from it
Yeah.
instead of engaging with it, because from what I'm saying so far, like I said, not a news correspondent, definitely don't have all the information here, but from how the story is being told, I don't I didn't see anything so far that said the guy was a threat, or that the guy had a weapon, or the guy was coming at them, things of that nature. It just sounded like some mild disrespect. And I know,
Yeah.
when you get disrespected, that could be handled, various ways, right, wrong, or indifferent. But somebody definitely should have stepped in and was like, hey, look, man, we don't need this, and got him away from the situation, because now he's going to have all the blowback for that. I mean, of course, others may be impacted, with charges and things like that, but he has the most to lose in that situation.
Facts. And you gotta be careful of the company you keep, because you have people around you, because everyone has a job, you know what I'm saying? And someone should have been there to make sure he had his best interests at heart, and made sure that
Exactly.
it's a step away, and that's kind of why you pay people, unfortunately, to do that, and that everyone needs to do their job, and but you make a point, a lot of things happen at 6 o'clock in the morning, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
A lot of things happen at 6 o'clock, like they always say, it's after certain times, there's only but so many things that are going to happen.
Hey, this is true, and as someone who has lived in the nightlife, culture, for so long, I've definitely, seen a lot. And like I said, I mean, it's only a handful of things that can happen, at that time of morning, or once things start closing down, and a lot of times the odds aren't in your favor, man. They're not in your favor. But
Yeah.
on another note,
set up now.
so we got the Super Bowl Sunday. We got the Rams and the Bengals, man. So who are you taking in this one, and why?
I got Cincinnati. I don't know, man. I just think they're gonna. I mean, they are going against a tough defense, but I don't know, man. I think they got that speed. You know what I'm saying? They got the rookie of the year. They got, what I'm saying? Like Chase is killing it.
Yeah.
You got a solid quarterback. You know what I'm saying? A solid defense. Teams that can put up some numbers. I don't know. I think Cincinnati got it. I'm not gonna lie. Even just growing up, I only thought Cincinnati for the colors. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dang, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really think of Cincinnati. No disrespect. You can take it how you want to. But yeah, no, I never even thought about Cincinnati. I never be like, oh man, I'm gonna do a Cincinnati game. You know what I'm saying? I just never thought about it.
Yeah.
But nah, I mean, I think this is I think they're about to do some stuff this year.
And I don't know, man. I'm kind of set on LA. I think LA is gonna run away from this one. I know the Super Bowl is being played, in LA.
Yeah.
So it's on their home field. And looking at the price of these Super Bowl tickets, I don't know how much home field advantage is going to weigh into that, because man, those seats are ridiculous. Now I see how the NFL is truly just making so much money. But between, you know, the commercial spots of how much they cost, you know, for 30 seconds to, you know, I mean, the price of these tickets, it's just astronomical. So I don't know how many Rams fans will be in the building, but it's just something about, you know, being, you know, in your city, you know, that kind of gives you that slight edge.
Mm.
You know, so I'm gonna take I'm gonna go on record and say I'm taking the Rams by 9 points. Now, I think it's gonna be a good game, but I think the Rams are gonna pull it off, man.
All right. So I got Cincinnati, and they're gonna go by 6. All right, that's a bet. That's a bet.
All right, well, you know, I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Again, I'm looking for, you know, a good game. You know, it's gonna be crack of dawn Monday morning. You know, but I will be viewing that game in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I hope it's one of those Super Bowls where, you know, folks don't get blown out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want it to be a game. I want it to be like a nail biter. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be like, damn, you know, the playoffs. Playoffs were exciting. You know what I'm saying? They were solid. That's how I want this to be. I want this to be. I don't want to be a blowout, because after it's a blowout, you're just like, all right, let's watch something else. You know, you ain't even worried about it no more. But you want to see a game.
I agree with you, because when you get to the blowoffs, I mean the blowouts, and it's like, all right, you know, let me check out this halftime show, and the halftime show is out, and start checking for commercials, then that's out, then you start, you know, scrolling on the TV. All right, what else we got going on here before, you know, shut it down for the night? But yeah, I'm looking for a good game too, man, because I would hate to wake up before the sun comes up to wake up to experience a blowout, man. Especially if the Rams are getting blown out.
Yeah. Yeah, that works. I mean, that's why I say it's one of those things, man. I hope it's a solid game, man, at the end of the day. I hope it's gonna be a good way to. Now it's at the end of the year, you start thinking, like, right now. I know they're talking about how, like, Brady, right?
Yeah.
You know, talking about he's about to retire because he ain't make it to the Super Bowl this year. You know, and I don't know. He's been in a few where it's been some blowouts. You know, but yeah, I'm glad to see some other folks in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to mix it up, man. It's, you know, I thought TB12 had at least, you know, one more year in him. You know, the way the man, you know, rolled this year, I was like, yeah, he's not retiring, but you know, I mean, the end of an era, man. The man had a good run. You know, I think he picked up 6, 7 rings along the way. So I mean, he's already solidified his spot, you know, in history as one of the best to do it.
Yeah, he killed it. He's I'm not gonna lie, you cannot not call him a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's put up some numbers. You can't say, especially if you think about his story. You know, like, he wasn't even a first round pick. Round draft pick, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't even, no one even thought about it. But then just, you know, how he just changed it, man. He found his groove, and he went at it. So I can't take that from that man.
Nah. And he did it outside of New England as well. You know, so he showed that, hey, it's just not the system up here. You know, I had a, you know, big part in that. So, you know, definitely, you know, hats off and salute to that man, because it's great. He did his thing, man. He did it.
Yeah, and I was surprised. I didn't think he was gonna be able to do it in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was gonna be able to do it, but, you know, he did it. I give it to him.
He did. And, you know, now that the NFL season's coming to a close, man, I guess it's time for me to start getting more acclimated to the NBA season, because, you know, usually I don't get involved in the NBA until, you know, mid to late February or early March.
Yeah.
You know, because 82 games is a lot. You know, I mean, 16, 17 in the NFL for a season. I mean, that's a lifetime. But 82 games of basketball, man, I don't have the bandwidth, you know, to keep up.
That's a lot. That's a lot of games. I usually start watching after All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
That's when we start weeding out, who's about to be who, what's about to happen, and then take it kind of, you got your select team, that you watch every once in a while, you catch them, but then after, All-Star Weekend, that's when you catch it. You're like, all right, see what's about to happen. That's when it becomes good entertainment.
I agree, man. I agree. Man, but before we get out of here, man, what else is going on? I think Joe Rogan was in the news this week for some comments he made. I saw a montage of him throwing around, certain words, freely. It was just like rolling off his tongue. It was no hesitation about it, man. So, you want to talk on that?
Yeah, I mean, it just goes back. Everything is televised. So again, in that situation, it's like, some people sit there and say, you don't want to know if the person next to you is racist. You know what I'm saying? But you rather know that devil. Like, you rather know it. You don't want it, to be a surprise. And the fact that what he promotes, and I think the man just got $120 million. You know what I'm saying? For Spotify, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they backing him, it's just wild, But then again, you got people saying it's the conversation needs to be had again. Like, what made him think? And he's gonna sit there and say, well, it's not in the context I was putting it in. There's no way for you not to put it in like that. You just know that's you don't do shit like that. Like, why do you even have to have that discussion? You know what I'm saying? Like, you weren't even having a discussion or in a manner where you're trying to, learn something or whatever you were doing. You know what I'm saying? What would make you think that's okay to do?
Exactly.
And so I don't know, man. It's just wild out here, and that's why I say, people, you got a crew out there. Again, you just gotta know, of how to maneuver and what the conversation is. Know what's around you, because again, the devil it's a lot safer than the unknown. So now it's brought to the forefront. Now it's we know who he is. Again, that's not something
exactly.
you just what I'm saying. Like, who he is. What kind of person that is, and I saw his little apology he tried to come out with.
Nah, man,
it's like,
I agree.
It was ass backwards. Ass backwards. Like, he'd say one thing that contradicted the same thing. He used too many buts. You know what I'm saying? However, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
fuck up. Just stop. We know who you are now, and it is what it is. And I'm never about putting people down, but that's reckless right there.
Nah. With a platform that big and his voice being as powerful as it is, I'm really surprised that that they're letting that slide. This age of cancel culture, which I'm not a huge fan of cancel culture. I am a fan of accountability. While I don't support going back 20 years, looking at a tweet that someone put out and they've already addressed it and apologized, and just digging up old things and trying to throw dirt on them. I don't really ride with that aspect of it, but I do support accountability. Where if you put something out into the atmosphere in this day and age, it has to be addressed, and you got to be held accountable for it.
Accountability is huge. You know what I'm saying? You got to be accountable. You gotta be accountable for your actions. You make your bed, you lay in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he did. He got clips after clip after clip after clip.
Yeah.
And so again, you make your bed, you lay in it. You gotta be responsible, for your actions. And again, it goes back to, just not thinking. Like, think about the long game. Don't make that decision off this emotion. Like, you need to really thoroughly think this shit through.
Nah,
you got too many people watching you. Like, what makes you think someone on that platform, no one's gonna watch you, or that's not gonna come back up?
Exactly.
Fucking reckless.
It's wild. And talking about accountability, did you get a chance to check out that show on Netflix, Tindler Swindler?
Nah, I didn't get to check that one out yet.
Oh
man.
man.
I was looking it up, man. That shit is wild, man. That is
Man.
that is a wild concept. That shit is crazy. It's crazy that's even based off of a true story.
Exactly. And
World
if the man
scary.
is still walk around, so since you haven't seen it yet, I'm not going to give away, too much about it in the details, but the overall premise is it's a dude on Tinder and he's meeting women and, he's putting himself out there like he's the son of a billionaire, so they call him like the Prince of Diamonds. And he's entertaining these young ladies, taking them private jets, fancy dinners, things like that. And then the man hits him with the okie doke. He's like, "Hey, I got something going on with my finances. You think you can just let me hold something for a second? I got you next week." Starts off real small, and then comes back with the same thing, like, "Hey, look. Yeah, I know you let me hold that last week, but I just need to hold a little bit more. We're working things out. Hey, the check is in the mail. I got you. Don't worry." And these women are just running up debt, helping this man out because they think, hey, he got it. He's going to get it back to me, so I'm not even going to worry about it, man. And he's just repeating this over and over again in, so many different countries. And, the man got exposed for what he was. And it's just a wild story. And like you said, to find out it's true. It's like, this is something, you hear the story, you think it's like made for TV. Like, oh, okay, this is catchy. That really can't happen in real life. And, when you start to, peel the onion back and get deep into the story, you're like, man, this is really wild. So you definitely, got to check that out, in the next couple of weeks, man. We'll circle back around and, we'll dig a little deeper in that one because there's a lot in there of how this dude got away with things. And, we definitely need to speak more on that, man. Definitely.
No, definitely. I got caught up watching the season finale of Ghost.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
The way that joint ended, man, that was that's again, being accountable for your actions. You know what I'm saying? Just because you being emotional. Around and kill Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, spoiler alert. My fault. If you ain't watch it,
if you ain't seen it yet, that's a bigger problem, man. So spoiler alert. But yeah, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just wild. And just the way they say something deep in that joint, where how like it's everyone Tariq got he was being distracted by. Got him, because again, he let that, it's everything, all the emotions or whatever. He was trying to play those multiple emotional cards, which I don't know how people do that. I ain't got mental mind space for that. You know what I'm saying? Too much other shit.
Yeah.
But to be able to juggle other people's emotions and you being emotionally connected with them, you know what I'm saying? He kept getting, really fucked. Like he just, but his mans came through. His mans came through in the clutch, That's what I'm saying. It was just, they ended that. It was a good closure. It was all right. It's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, man. Yeah, man. It was definitely wild, man. I made sure, Sunday before I headed out on my adventure to the mall. And I was like, all right, I gotta watch the season finale of Ghost. So I checked it out. I think they did a good job of closing out some things. I was really taken back about Lauren. I thought that Effie I thought she was gonna let slide, man. But it looks like, she set it up where, the locals think Lauren had a, car accident, trying to get away and, had a, bag of money there. She left that behind. It's like, she was trying to escape and, disappear into the background. So that was wild because I didn't see Lauren dying. I saw her, hiding out somewhere, so I was like, man, when she died, I was like, okay, we know somebody had to die, season finale, somebody's not going to make it.
Yeah, someone, you gotta have closure on that. But I think it's wild. Essie just, I don't know, like, she's pretty fucking thorough. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, whatever happened. I fuck with Essie. She's thorough. She, she had to do again for the greater the good. You just, she unfortunately, but I fucked with Essie. Essie's cool, but again, their action still, had a counter reaction to it too. It just is what it is, and she accepted her bet.
Exactly. Exactly, man. Exactly. Now, I think that the whole thing with Mecca, I think that's going to blow back on Tariq. They got the man in the lobby, with the bag going to see him. They find, Mecca's body. So I think season 3, your man's going to have to, do something or work out something to get out that situation. I think he's definitely going to get fingered for that because it looks like your guy Sachs, that he's starting to, get in that mode again and say, all right, Tariq, we let him slide for this, we slid for that, we got to nail him to the wall for something, so I definitely see that blowback coming to him on that one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's a lot of unpacking that joint. That was a good one. That was solid. That was a good one to catch, So, yeah, man. It's then I try to catch Force with Tommy. I try to catch that for a second. I don't know what direction that's gonna go in yet. You know what I'm saying? I can't. The little trailers look like they could be all right, but I don't know. The first one was. I don't know. Let's see how that one's gonna ride out.
Yeah, man. I think it's gonna be a slow burn, and typical, power fashion. They're kind of setting up, a whole lot, in the beginning, to kind of, build a story and identify, who the characters are and things of that nature before, we really start to see the direction they're going in. So I'm thinking by episode 3 or 4, the picture will definitely be a lot clearer to what's going on because, we saw the man was headed out west to start something, stopped over in Chicago, and the man's like, what, I think I like the city, I'm gonna stick around. I did like the little bar / restaurant he went to, had a little, Caribbean flair, with the pepper pot soup. The man, talking about his his knowledge, of the food and the cuisine, So I think that story is really gonna develop more. But like I said, I think it's a slow burn. They're not gonna give us, everything in episode 1. They're just gonna just paint that picture. And then, start, coloring the lines, as we go on. But we'll see. I mean, I'm definitely tuned in, on Sunday. Check that one out. And I liked it, it's on Stars, so I can, catch it early, because I don't want that conflict with the Super Bowl game. Try and catch things live.
No, I hear you. Yeah, it's a good one to catch. But again, Diddy doing his thing.
Yeah, man, it's on the move, man. Hey, so anything else before we get out of here this week?
No, man, just again, like I say, we just about to take this week on, continue just kicking its ass, taking our bruises, taking our hits, getting up, falling, getting right back up, and just doing what we got to do. Again, there's a lot of stuff in the works though, man. I mean, I know we got some great interviews coming up, man, and I'm looking forward to some great conversations. And, just seeing all the continued greatness out here. It's Black History Month, and we just gonna celebrate for the culture.
Yeah,
We
man.
do it every day of the year. We do it every day of the year. We gotta promote ourselves. We gotta love ourselves.
Got to.
Be our
Got
biggest
to.
supporters. You know what I'm saying? Y'all out there, be your biggest supporter. Love yourself first. So yeah, man. It's good times, man. So everything's happening. Everything.
Yeah. I agree, man. All is well on this end. It looks like
Yeah, what you
the
got? What you got going on?
weather forecast is looking like the 80s out here. So you know, I'm
Yeah,
excited about that. It's funny because I got my first parking ticket this week.
sweet.
Exactly, and it's crazy because I had to run in the store and take care of something right quick. And as I'm waiting to pay, they're interacting with this other customer, and I'm like, all right, look, man, I'm just trying to pay so I can get out of here because I'm thinking that parking is free between 1 and 4 every day. Big misconception. It's not.
Yeah.
So I go outside and I see the guy, taking pictures of the car and the registration. I mean, taking tags and all that stuff. So I'm like, oh man, I think he just got me. But then he walked away and went to the car beside me, and I see him going back and forth. Like, all right, so I popped the trunk, like, hey, I'm right here. So I'm thinking I escaped, and I got an email like 15 minutes later from the rental car company. It's like, yes, you just got a parking citation, and here's the fee. So I'm sitting here trying to do the conversion. I'm like, all right, that's not too bad. I'll pay it. So now I'm sitting here trying to pay the ticket. Like, all right, well, how do I pay it? And going back and forth. I just, renewed my lease. So I'm like, man. So I'm like, all right, so still trying to figure out the parking situation, but it's all good, man. Things happen, but
Yeah.
probably get out, do a little more exploring this week. Definitely enjoying the cuisines out here. Coming across, different styles of cooking, and the meals are great. So we'll see, but not too much on that end.
What's up?
So still out here to just go with the flow, and I'm looking at myself in the camera here. I see that my blackness lighted. I'm a little dark, so I'm a hop on the Amazon. See if I can work out something with this lighting, so everyone can see my beautiful facial features, next week. But it's all good, man. Hey, you live and you learn, live and you learn. That's about it.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
That's about it, man. Hey, but before we head out of here, shout out to Sheesh to you. Don't forget you can follow them on IG. Thanks to everybody for rocking with us, and we appreciate it. Thanks for the comments and the conversation. Once things post, definitely like interacting and engage with everybody and hearing your perspectives. So definitely keep that up. Don't forget you can follow us on YouTube. You can tap into the conversation on Twitter. You can follow us at In the Pod. Leave messages, comments. You got a brand flavor you want us to try out. Let us know. We'll give you our feedback on that. Until next time, appreciate y'all for rocking with us. We always tell you, don't forget, keep those hookahs clean, clean out after every use. That way it's ready, when you're ready. You ain't got to go through a whole bunch of, additional prep work. Everything is set up. You're good to go. So until next time, man, we appreciate y'all.
Like always, click, like, and subscribe.
Life can be beautiful if you let it.
In the bowl.